So we are going to be live any second. It says we're streaming right now, so you can share it. Facebook, people, have I got a treat for you today. Comic Spot was started so this military veteran could vet out veterans of comedy, and that's what we got for you here today, right there in square number 1 with the sunglasses on outside of a locked apartment. We got Demetrius Deason. Let's get to know him. Hi, Demetrius. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love the introduction. Thanks for having me. I had to be outside. My daughter's sleeping. I ain't waking her up.
I thought maybe you were dropping off a package and you stopped to talk.
I wish. Now I'm hiding from my daughter right now. I just put her to sleep. Took 3 hours.
Maybe you can act out how to be a porch pirate. I'm going to do your introduction so people know exactly what you want them to know, and then we'll do your interview. Here we go.
Do it. Let's do it.
Do it. I love you so much. Demetrius Juice Deason, the fastest rising star and hardest working man in comedy. He quickly gained popularity on the national comedy scene. Yeah, national. That you heard me right.
That's more than one state. That means multiple states. That means multiple people. Yeah, that's okay. Just helping you out a little bit. Yep.
National. I can't say contiguous because then people would go Google and then we'd lose them. Since the founding of his company, Layups to Stand Up in 2013, he has produced events across the country to raise money for communities. And shared the stage with some of today's leading artists. And I believe my shows, he says, are more than just another comedy show. This is a man who I can connect with. I love shows that are more than just comedy.
They gotta be about something. Gotta be about something.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear this. Because we bring roaring thunder of a basketball game, layups to stand up, the thrill and excitement of a party, and the hilarity of laughter to a comedy to the stage, says Deason. Let's get to know him. Here we go. Are you guys ready? Woo! Hi, Demetrius.
How you doing? How you doing?
Doing good. Talk to me about what you're doing today. You're outside of a locked door.
Yep, I'm out here on the Crenshaw district at my house in the back here doing this dope interview with y'all, sneaking away from my daughter because she took her 3 hours to put her to sleep, and I ain't trying to wake her up for this interview. It's too much work. If I wake her up, I'm sending her to you in Vegas now. So we here, we got some great information, some great stories to share with the people. I got a lot of information and we're gonna talk about it. So I'm excited. Thanks for having me. Let's do it.
You bet. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to have you on. I know we've connected, and I even got to go to your club and do a mic when I was in LA once. So I've been dying to have you on.
Yeah, it was the honor to have you. I'm glad we was able to connect and get you down there, take care, you get you some stage time. Like I said, a lot of the things that I do is so much bigger than just telling jokes. Telling jokes, making people laugh, that's small time to what I'm trying to do and what my brand and my vision is for my comedy. So yeah.
Yes. So you're talking about your brand and your comedy and layups to stand up. I want to talk about that just a little later. Right now, I know you're hella funny and hella successful.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the roots, the beginning. I can imagine you in first grade being the one that the teacher was like keeping your eye on.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have, let me tell you, let's just start there. You wouldn't even been in my class in first grade because first of all, I was in special ed and you don't look like you was in special ed. So,
I should have been.
Yeah, you probably should. A lot of us should, a lot more people should have been, but yeah, my story goes way back from, like I said, from being a great in special ed from the first grade to all through high school. So yeah, we could go to it. Let's talk about it. I want people to really understand how things kind of transparent. Let's do it.
How did you get from being the cute little kid in first grade to right now? I want that made clear to people.
Yeah.
What happened?
First, I got cute recently. So let's be honest. I wasn't a cute kid. So that's in first grade. First off, I had a speech impediment. I sucked my thumb. I was pigeon toes, very angry, very small. Hate talking out loud. This is the reason I was placed in special ed. So that's just kicking it off from there. So this is me in first grade, very angry. I'm the first of three kids. So I had a lot of responsibilities at home. So, my mom was a single parent, hustling, trying to take care of us, had 3 jobs. So I was at home doing a lot of, had a lot of responsibilities at a young age, watching my brothers and sisters, putting the noodles in the microwave and cutting it on for a minute, even though it says don't put noodles in the microwave. But I don't know, but that's kind of how my story, that's how it started out from there. I always, I've been being in special ed, not being able to voice my opinion, not be able to talk the way I wanted to, but knowing I was intelligent, but just knowing that my brain was a lot different than other people. So that's kind of my story, just kind of figuring out me. And it took 32 years and I'm still doing it.
So like in what point in your life, what age were you when people said, you're funny?
I gotta be honest. I've been funny my whole life. I can't lie. I've been funny. I went through my mom should have been a comedian. So my mom, first and foremost, people ask me who's my comedy role model or who I aspire to be. It was my mom. My mom went through so much things in her life from the time I was born to the time she passed. And she always able to spin like real life, hurtful, painful things into funny, like on the spot. Like you'd be like, wow, you're supposed to be somewhere crying, ready to jump off a bridge. Here you are telling jokes about you being evicted and us not having nothing to eat. So for me, seeing that at a young age, I adopted that instantly. I was like, wow, my mom is a life of the party everywhere she goes. I'm like, I want that attention. And so for me, everywhere I go, I would try to be like my mom. I would try to crack jokes, say things like my mom so I could be around. This is before I learned about comedy like later. I didn't even know what comedy was. I just see my mom hosting parties, playing dominoes, talking about jokes, making everybody laugh. And I'm like, wow, how is she doing that? Then so that was my comedy influence. So when I was in school, kids would talk about me, things that happened. I was just find ways to be funny on the spot. It was just like I just knew how to do it. Airplane, pause for a second. Play. We back. See what I'm saying? This is the thing I just know how to do. I don't know how to, but yeah, that's kind of how I got into it though. I've kind of been funny my whole life. So, and then I found comedy later on as different things with I play basketball. So I play basketball with like a lot of NBA guys, successful people. So one of them, Russell Westbrook, that plays for the Washington Wizards. So for me, basketball was my outlet. Basketball was how I was going to buy my mom a big house and I was going to buy my mom a nice car. So for me, but in the mix of that, I learned that people always been gravitate to me and always laugh. Every time we was on the road, every time we be in class, people would literally be crying, laughing at me. And I'd be like, what's so funny? All I'm doing is reading out loud. Why y'all laughing? Kids used to literally either get picked to read in class, the whole class would just start laughing. I'd be like, I ain't even said nothing yet. So, that's kind of been my my origin story, kind of how I got into it. And then at a later age, I kind of got into comedy on their in the business side, comedy side later on. I don't want to go too fast. So anything I left out, if you want to add, please go ahead.
So people always laughed, and at some point you got the nerve to go on stage. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody that was responsible for getting you on the first time? For
sure. I want to shout out Dewan Brown, comedian, radio host. He has a dope podcast giving out information to people. He was the first person that was like, bro, you're funny. You're funny. You should be on a stage funny. You should be telling jokes. I met him. One of my good friends at the time was Eric Bledsoe. He played for the LA Clippers.
Yes.
So I met, and at the time, Dewan had a friend that plays for the Clippers. So we'd be at the games and we'd be back. It's a place where all the families meet. It's called the family room. You go back there, you eat snacks, you laugh at halftime, you have a good time, like the families or the players go. So I'd be back there and I'd be having everybody or the players' families just crying, laughing. everybody's just telling jokes. And he like, man, you funny, you're a comedian. I'm like, nah, I'm just juice. I'm just juice. He like, man, you should try doing comedy. I'm like, man, I can do that. That's easy. He like, if you for real, come do my show next week. And then like, I'm like, yeah, he took my number down and he called me every day into the show. And I end up showing up and I went on stage. And from there, I've been doing it ever since.
And his name is Dewan Brown.
Dewan Brown, dope dude out of LA. Man, dope. He actually produced the first 3 shows I've been on.
Thank you, Dewan Brown. And you guys get out and support Dewan Brown and Demetrius Deason.
Yeah. He's he also, I asked him later on, like, why? He was like, because for a second he stopped doing comedy, but one of the things he said, he wanted to make sure I got started before he stopped, because he said he knew I'd be great at it. So shout out to him, because man, that comedy changed my life, man. It's amazing what comedy can do.
What was your first time on stage like?
First time on stage, like I said, was amazing. It's like, people don't really talk about that like in detail that very first time, because we so cocky, we so as comedians, we don't want nobody to know the truth. Like it was scary, it was nerve-wracking, because like I've been naturally funny my whole life, but I never been like, okay, I never been the type of comedian that be like, tell me a joke, or I never been like on the spot, or he's funny and then you look at me and I gotta be funny. I've always been like real life natural funny. So anytime I try to be funny, I'm not funny. So, for me, it was like, okay, I'm doing a show next week. Everybody like, oh, I'm coming. What you gonna talk about? I'm like, I don't know. I got so much to talk about. I'm funny all the time. So I had to really try figuring that out. So that was, for me, was very tough. Even in my later stages of comedy, that was tough for me, because I had to, at a later stage, I started figuring it out. But for the beginning times, you don't know. So I went on stage and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write down a couple of bullets. I'm gonna go on stage and let my energy just take over. And that's kind of what I did. I think my first joke was about, I didn't even know how to write a joke. I just knew I say this a lot and people be laughing. So it has to be a joke. Like, like you don't know how to write a joke. I was just starting to, read the comedy Bibles, the comedy books. I just started watching stand-up. I literally did not, I watched it here and there throughout my life, but I really wasn't into stand-up comedy. I'm more just into comedy and real life funny and like just life. So yeah, my first joke was about how I hated people seeing me waiting on the bus stop and how I never would like people to see me. So I'll walk back and forth from the bus like I'm walking. And if somebody caught me by the bus stop waiting, I'll act like I got a Charlie horse. And I didn't know that was my first little joke. And I did it with so much energy and I did it with so much confidence. People just start laughing. And it was like, I didn't know why. And I just continued to figure it out as I went.
Doing comedy is like peeling an onion.
Yeah, exactly. Because so many people have so many opinions, so many things of what you should do, but it's crazy that you really just gotta focus on your craft, your art, you finding you, because everybody in comedy finds something different. Like for me, I jump-started my career because I was really good with business and numbers, and I knew how to produce shows, and I knew how to bring people to seats. So my career jump-started, but my comedy, somebody else made comedy may have been faster than mine, but my business was faster. So everybody got their thing. I kind of picked up the comedy side maybe like 4 years into it.
Wow.
So, it's different for everybody, but people don't tell you that. They'd be like, well, this guy made a video and he went viral, do that, or be Chris Rock. No, you need to be you, because if you can't figure out how to be you on stage, you're never going to be funny.
That's right. And you started out by being you on stage.
Yeah, which is hard. I'm gonna write a book on it, because it was tough for me. I read every comedy book that you could read. I went to comedy classes. I had people write jokes for me, but for me, I was always funny. So even when I performed on stage, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was killing, but I never not got laughs. I've always was okay. So for me, it was like, well, I want to talk about something that's deep, that's meaningful, that's about something. I want to tell my story. And for me, I said, I'm gonna have to struggle and go up and down, because I'm doing so much on the business side and I'm doing so much on the personal side. It's just gonna be part of my growth. So for me, like, I had to humble myself, because I'm like, yo, I got everything easy. Me writing a joke, I got last. I can honestly say I learned how to write a joke last. I learned everything else: stage presence, confidence, making money, all that first. writing a joke came last. And for me, that was the thing I wanted first. It's
get
been
it.
an annoying process. I'm just so happy I could write a joke now.
Yes.
Uh-oh, my baby crying, so we're gonna have to move it to the kitchen, guys, so we still gonna
Okay.
do it. Here we
All
go.
right.
I told y'all I don't write jokes. I talk about real stuff. I told you I was hiding from my daughter. Now she know I'm here. Here I come, baby. The people about to see us. Here I come. Here I come. Uh-oh. Daddy here.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", a little shorter than 6'1".
Wow.
So we got a special guest making her debut into any interview, never making her appearance.
Hi.
Is my
Hi,
beautiful daughter.
sweetie. Hi.
Say,
Hi,
what's up,
honey.
mama?
What's her name?
My name is Demetrius Deason. Her name is Destiny Dominique Deason.
Destiny. Hi, Destiny.
Say what up, mama? Hey, see, guys, she was crying not because she was worried or she was concerned. She was crying because she wanted me next to her. This girl right here is a different breed. But yeah, let's get back to it. We here. My baby, she know what time it is. Look at her. She ready for the spotlight.
So you started in comedy, opposite of a lot of people. They start with the jokes.
Yeah.
And you started with being yourself and the business end.
The business.
And the business end of comedy would be a great book too, because so many people don't get it.
Yeah. It's oh man, right now you hitting so many nails on the head. Let my brain. Listen, let me tell you before I get started. I wouldn't say I had ADD, but I would say I had so much shit, they just didn't diagnose me. So my brain go all over the place. So people who watch it, keep up. So many good points. Yeah, I say the business side was, for me, one of the reasons I always wanted to own, I wanted to be in control. I've been a boss since I was 1 year, since I was this age. That's why my daughter's already a boss. I'm teaching her how to, mama, so the stuff I be teaching. She know, I be reading to her comedy. I be teaching her how to run her own business. That's how I was as a kid. So I wanted to be in control of my business because I played basketball. Basketball didn't work out for me. Like I said, I played with Eric Bledsoe, Russell Westbrook, all these superstar, all-star players right now in the NBA. So for me, I thought I was going to be one too. So I focused every day, gave my time, gave my effort, my sweat, my tears into basketball. And I felt like basketball took me to a lot of places. It allowed me to meet a lot of people, but it also showed me that I have a real gift and a story. So I wanted, and I'm like, how can I share my story with the world? Because so many people, I was the guy on my basketball team. I was on my team because I worked hard and I motivated everybody else on my team. They was like, dude, this dude is homeless. I lived in a motel in high school. And for me, and I knew when I lived in that motel, it wasn't about me living in that motel. It was about me going through that so I could tell somebody else that's going to live in a motel what it's like and how I made it and how they going to make it. And I could use these jokes to tell you like, yeah, I lived in a motel and it was a lot of us. And sometimes I had to sleep on the floor. We didn't have a lot of beds. But, and these are stories that I've been able to bless to be able to do. So for me, the business side took it to another level. But in my head, I was like, I was going to learn the comedy if I stayed in the gym. And I think that goes to my basketball roots.
So let's get into you in comedy and doing, you went from basketball. Did you play it in college or in what college did you play? I went
through a long route in college. So like I said, I'm born and raised from LA. Like I'm from LA. When people that's watching, when I say LA, I mean, I lived in almost every city in LA: Inglewood, Compton, Gardena, Manhattan Beach, Redondo, West LA, North Hollywood, West Hollywood, downtown, East LA, South Central. Want me to keep going? The list will be here all day. So I'm really from LA. So I started off, I went to a Lusinger High School. From there, I went to a junior college for 2 years. And then from there, I went to a 4-year school called Pacific Union. It's up north in Napa, California. So I was our best player on my team. I led us in rebounds, points, steals, pitchers, all that. I messed up my lower back and they took my scholarship away. And I had no way to pay for school. So I came back home homeless. When I was back home homeless, I had to pay for school. I started working at a chicken restaurant called El Pollo Loco. My friend Dewan was like, bro, you funny. You used to be doing comedy. I said, I have nothing to lose. Let's do it. And that's how it all started. But when I got into it, I said, you know what? I couldn't control my basketball career. I said, I'm gonna control my business career. I'm gonna control my comedy career. I want people to know my story. So I said, I'm gonna start a business. I want people to know. So I made Layups to Stand Up, which is me transitioning from playing basketball to stand up. And here we are 8 years later. I wanted something that down the road I could still love and say, this is who I am. And here we are.
That is so amazing. And I love the story because you and I, our hearts are so much alike in that I don't like comedy just for comedy.
Right.
I do my comedy for the military and the veterans. Right. I don't care one veteran under a bridge.
Right. That's
and I call my comedy from pieces to piece.
Yeah.
So I can't do comedy just for giggles. Yeah. You know, it's got to have a meaning, and that's like you. Yeah, everything has to be about something. And at that time, I knew at that time it wasn't a guy. Or I was going to create a lot of platforms that wasn't there, but I was down for that. I wanted to. I always, even if you look back on my post 8, 10, I always got into comedy, and I said I want to change comedy culture. That was my goal. So everything I went through, everything I'm going through, it's to change comedy culture, and that's my goal. I don't want to just change it for me. I want to change it for her. If she want to do comedy. I got a stepson that's 9 years old that do comedy. My fiance that do comedy. All my friends that's comedians. The next generation. I want people to be like, yo, we ain't got to go the traditional route to make it. We could be ourselves and authentic to our people and help everybody. So that's what I wanted to do. But I did it the wrong way, because for me, again, I did the business side, y'all. So let me tell y'all what I wanted to put everybody else on, and that's what I had to learn. In order, I'm the light, so I had to go back and focus on writing my jokes, because if my jokes ain't perfect, I can't. We only gonna go as far as my jokes, and that's my business. That's why I've been able to be successful. But for me to be the next level, I had to focus on my jokes, and that's why now I took the time to get my jokes together even better. So now that I'm producing. And now that I got a tour, I have a basketball league. I have a platform where I could sell out shows and do stuff. So for me to get my jokes together, all I gotta do now is plug myself back into my business, which is a blessing, which is why a lot more comedians should really take the time to learn. So because of your following, you probably sell out wherever you're performing. Whoever books you is probably really glad you're there.
Yeah. Not only that, I really don't, I get booked. But most times, most places I go, I do the whole production. So I do the booking. I'll find the venues. Like, for example, my last big show. What you want, baby?
Yes, Stephanie.
What you want, baby? Say, what you want, baby?
Hi,
Say, I want my daddy time. You want daddy time? Say,
yeah.
She want to talk a little bit. Go ahead. You go ahead. What you want to say?
Daddy.
Daddy. But yeah, my last big show was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And not only did I book it, I found the venue, I booked the comedians, got the DJ, paid for the marketing behind it. We did the whole production in-house. So therefore, I'm not only am I getting on stage, I'm also making money. I'm also helping my friends and family make money. And I'm also teaching people how to run their business by themselves. So it's bigger than just the jokes.
Wow, so many people need help in the business end of things. That's the roughest part, is like it's the business. How do you know if you're getting screwed if you don't know numbers, if you don't know your contracts, if you don't know if you ain't around that. I taught myself, I read books. I went to school for business for play basketball. I got about 1,000 books that I read. And people who listening, you ain't gotta be like, oh, I'm a great reader. I'm not a great reader. I listen to audio books, but I take notes and I jot down information and I teach myself. It's important. And in my spare time in the day, I learn business. At night, I'm a comedian. In the daytime, I'm not just eating cartoons, watching Spider-Man. If you really want to be a professional in this comedy, you gotta take the time and put the effort in. And that's what I try to do. However, on the comedy side, it was sacrifice, because now I didn't have the much time to write jokes, because I'm doing so much big productions and I'm booking so many big artists. So for me, I had to really, like I just did, I had to delegate and take time away from business to get my comedy right. So now my business would be high level, because now we're going global. We're natural, but the plan is to be global. Oh, that's awesome. If somebody were to hire you for business coaching for the business end, how do they get a hold of you to do that?
they could just reach out to me. My Facebook is Demetrius Deason. My Instagram is I am Juice Man. I mean, I'm actually in the process of putting down, working on, I'm about to start charging and putting a programs for that, because a lot of people I help a lot of people, but I just do it because that's what God want me to do. I believe in a higher power.
Me
I
too.
gotta give somebody, I'm not just funny. Somebody gave me the funny thoughts, gave me the funny, blessed me with this. So I want to maximize it and take it to the next level. So, hey mama, you're hungry, huh?
Has the news ever covered your story?
Yeah, I got news covers a lot in Tulsa and in Oklahoma. Hey mama,
I
mama.
love your story. You're a champion on the court and on stage. I
Yeah,
have
I
looked
mean,
up to you
I
so
try to
long.
be I try to be me all the time, and people like to see me be myself. I show myself all the time. Perfect example right now. I'm doing this interview and I'm being a dad, and I'm doing it, and I'm not making an excuse about it. We're doing it. That's what we
We're
do.
doing it. And that's what I love about you. And you being you comes through on every post you put out. You're not a put on, you're for real.
Yeah, I try to be my authentic as possible, and I love being a dad, but it's stressful, but it's also something that it gave me a bigger reason. I gotta make sure everything I represent is, so when I leave, she know she got the right footsteps. I didn't have a dad growing up. My baby do. So that's important to me. I want to set a right example for me and other artists. So yeah, but
Absolutely.
also too, just like I said, everything you're saying is right on point. The business side, like I said, I recommend people just take the time into, and also because you know how to get in these doors, you know how to book. Like when I get booked, I book myself. I know how to call. I have relationships with all these venues around the country that I produce a show at. So when I call and get booked as a comedian, they like, Juice. Oh, you know who brought us and made us $10,000 last month? We'll look. Oh, it's not about comedy or being funny. It's about my reputation. Then I come on stage and I'm funny. They're like, wow, and he's funny. Oh my God, I love him. And so that's kind of what I try to be about. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's what I call nailing it. You got the business nailed. So anybody that has any need to understand the business side and be a winner, this is a coach for you, you
So
guys.
I'll give out advice. I have experience from producing comedy shows, to producing comedy tours, to producing basketball leagues, to right now we're producing programming on it in LA. We're gonna do programming for the South Central, doing programming, teaching entrepreneurship, teaching comedy. These are the type of things that we're in the city now, so we do things. And that's one of the things that helped me with my shows. People are like, bro, why you bring so many people out? I don't have just comedy friends. I do nonprofit work. I'm out meeting people in all different phases of life. I do Postmates. I do Uber. I meet people everywhere. Everywhere I'm funny. Everywhere I promote. Everywhere I'm myself. Everywhere people like me. And that's for me where I don't have to like hold information and be like, well, I'm not going to tell somebody how to do this, because I'm going to tell you and I'm going to do it, and you still not going to get from it what I get. Because what's for me is for me. What's for you is for you. But you got to go get it.
What's the number one thing that you see happening in comedy that you'd like people to quit doing?
Um, I I want people to stop being followers. I feel like comedy is taking a weird toll right now. Everybody just trying to do whatever to make it. Nobody's standing for nothing. Nobody got 2 feet like, this is who I am. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna find my audience. People want to go out and get other people's audience. Your audience is out there. It don't matter if your audience is 10,000 or 10 billion. If you're not tapping into yours, you're never gonna really fulfill what you're here to do.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. And what do you see happening in comedy since COVID that you think is a real benefit to people?
That's a good question. I think
Thank you.
the live stream thing potentially could be something. Right now it's still, people are still just not used to it, because so many comedy is a live thing. It's a personal thing. It's an intimate thing. You got to be there type thing. So that's never going to change. But just the live streaming side of it is something that could potentially make more people money, more clubs more money, more comedians more money. But honestly, the main thing I would say is just the traditional way of doing stuff is out the window now. I see a lot of comedians, producers, they're not just going to these comedy clubs and performing for $20 for 20 years and waiting on somebody else to put them on. They starting their own tour. People are starting their own podcasts. People are doing shows in the backyard. People are being creative. People are like, no, I'm not waiting on Laugh Factory. I'm going to be my own Laugh Factory. And I feel like that's the next generation, because once you take back your craft, your art, your gift, you in control. They're not in control of our art. We are. And I think that's bigger than anything. Anybody that know that, they're going to go far.
So that is an amazing answer. Everything you say just oozes confidence and coaching, and you have so much to give. And I love that your comedy isn't about comedy. It's about being authentic and what it has to be real.
You have no clue what it's like when I struggle with this, because I'm gonna be honest, when you're so funny in real life and when you go on stage, people are like, that was pretty good. And then I go to their house the next day and they're crying, laughing in the living room. But at my show, they did it. And for me, that's something that I had to learn how to grow through, and I had to keep working at. But nothing that comes easy is worth having. So I learned that. Even this holding her, I got a joke right now. I gotta write down when I say, because most people be doing interviews, they be worried about talking, they be worried about what they gotta say. Try to have a baby in your hand and do an interview and still kill it.
And look at how naturally you do it. You just, a lot of people have blockages. They don't have the ability to love. And you have the ability to love while you're doing an interview. This is amazing for people to see.
I am who I am. I ain't like when I posted I love my daughter, I lost my mom a couple of months ago. My daughter has been, without her, I don't think I would have made it through it. So
let me just say, I was so sorry to hear that, and I felt your pain.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. But I'm blessed that my mom got to meet her granddaughter. This is her only one, her first one and only one. So
that's a great memory.
These is memories, these stories. This is the first interview I ever did with her the whole time holding her. So me and her can laugh about this later,
This is precious.
Yeah.
I had somebody that I interviewed and he had a bird on his shoulder. This top.
Now, did he do that on purpose? Because that sounds amazing. You know what? Go get a bird, baby. If I knew we was doing props on this show, I would have had my daughter dressed up. This is not, hold on, this is improv, guys. Y'all want me to go into comedy mode? See? Let me stop. I almost gave y'all 30 minutes of jokes. Let me stop.
Where can people catch your comedy tour, Life is a Joke?
If you type in Life's a Joke on Instagram, Facebook, even Google this to pop up, and you can follow us and support. We took a break off right now because, like I said, the tour the name is Life's a Joke because, as we know, life's not a joke. So we took some time off so we could get things in order, so my team to have their kids healthy, my baby get some quality time with her dad, but we coming back stronger than ever. Her mama. All right, guys.
Sometimes we need to take a break.
Yes, we do. We're now going to work our way back into the living room, guys. I got to make her bottle.
I'm going to give you the floor to say anything you want to people watching, anybody you want to get as a new fan, anybody you want as a new follower, anything you want to say about life, coaching, comedy, and you can talk as long as you want. And when you're done, I'll just sign out.
All right. Well, in the meantime, hold on real quick. Let's I like that idea. Because I'm about to make her a bottle at the same time. So maybe.
Should I let you go?
Of course. No, I've already been doing this. We doing it. Maybe maybe some viewers may got some questions in the comments. Maybe you may have some questions. And as I make the bottle, and then once I make the bottle, I got a couple of great words for y'all, and then we'll go our separate ways.
I'm gonna go look at comments.
You got some comments, but I got a few words for people though.
All right.
Your bottle once you see the bottle being made, she calms down. You hear that?
A lot of times people will come on here and look at this later.
Oh, okay. That's even fine too. Even better. All right, Mama, let's get this bottle free so we get our last thoughts for the people, then we'll go about our way. All right, Mama?
This is crazy. By the end of this day, this will have between 200 and 500 views. but there's nobody viewing it. It's just us three.
No words. Well, let me say my final words would be anybody that want to tell jokes, that want to be a comedian, producer, artist in general. I'll say that's be that. But don't wait for somebody else to organize your business. I know if you really believe you're gonna be a big star and do all these great things, start organizing your business early. Set up goals, write stuff down. Take time and really look at yourself as a full-time artist. Because if you don't, you're gonna be cheating yourself, and you're gonna make your path longer. I'm trying to cut time off your career and off you being funny. Have a great business plan. Be authentic. Be yourself, and work on your jokes and be real. A lot of comedians, a lot of times, our jokes is not that they're not working, is that they're not relatable to people. But we're everybody not single, everybody not out here at night all day telling jokes, eating cartoons, ain't gotta work. It's people with families, it's people that's hurting, it's people that lost people. It's people that's dealing with racism, it's people that's dealing with being raped, abused. When you're talking about real things that people can relate to, your audience will always find you. That's what you should be doing. It's not just about jokes. It's bigger than jokes. We're comedians. We're supposed to be uplifting and giving people hope and inspiring them, not just telling jokes. So don't just sign up for a check. Sign up to be something bigger than what you are. That's the last thing I'll say. Anything you would say, Mama? And come see my beautiful daughter, y'all. Her Instagram is Destiny Deason. Follow her. Follow me. I am Juice Man.
She has her own Instagram. Oh my gosh, Destiny Deason.
Destiny Deason. And thank you. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to have me. And everybody that's watching this, I'm going to share it on my page. And I think it's a lot of dope information. I wouldn't give nothing or say nothing to nobody that haven't worked for me, that I haven't went through, and I know it works. So
you're so authentic. Thank you so much, Demetrius Deason. I love you.
You too. Love you too. Be safe. Hit me if you need anything. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.